हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण गुरु प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
So we are ready with the quiz first. First we will have a quiz and presentation. Okay. And so far, who has not given the answer, I would request them to attempt. Before somebody can read this obeisances to 6 Goswami, Nana Shastra, somebody else who has not read so far.
प्रभु जी मैं आए।
Okay, Shobha Mataji, please carry on.
धन्यवाद प्रभु जी।
With the meaning, words and the meaning.
Yeah, okay. हरे कृष्ण। नाना शास्त्र विचार नैक निपुणौ तद्धर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरणयाकारौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजनान् नन्देन मतालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ। I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jeev Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. Thank you.
Can somebody chant the invocation prayers also? Om Gyan, full. Does someone know?
Prabhuji, I know.
Yes, okay.
No.
Who else? Somebody who has not given a try so far?
Prabhuji, let me.
Oh, Poonam Mataji, please, you go ahead. Full, on again until Prabhupada's Pranam and then Hare Krishna mantra. Right?
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chakshurin Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Vandai Aham Shri Guruve Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Guruve Vaishnavamstya Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahaguna Raghunatham Utam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padha Sahaguna Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsya Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopish Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhayo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavind Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्य देश तारणी हरे कृष्ण
Okay, thank you so much, Poonam Mataji. Such a melodious voice and proper meter was followed. So let us have a quiz now. Let us start with the filling the blanks. So you have to hear it very carefully. So I would guess whosoever
Prabhuji,
has
from which
answered.
chapter?
Chapter 6. No, chapter 5. Right?
Okay.
Chapter 5. You can open, but the question will be hidden here and there in one of the passages. So you can try your luck finding answer. Just a minute, somebody's trying to call me. Okay, first question. Just you can raise your hand. Bhakti is completely, then there's a fill in the blanks dash. Bhakti is completely dash of one's birth, social position, or ashrama. Bhakti is dash.
Independent.
Who is this? Without raising your hands. You must give an award, gift to someone who will answer the next question. That's your punishment. No, that's your punishment. Krishna Madi, you make sure she has to give something to the following one who's giving the correct answer.
To me, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, you coordinate. If you like, you can keep the award. Yeah, gift.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Even if a devotee, next question. Even if a devotee accidentally falls down, he doesn't need to perform any other dash or fill in the blanks. Even if a devotee falls down, again, let me repeat, he doesn't need to perform any other fill in the blanks. And whosoever answers this question has to explain the reason also. Not just the filling the blanks, has to explain some. He has to or she has to give some purport. There's no Prabhuji here today, I guess. Or can I pick any random devotee here? I don't know if Pinky Kumari can answer this question. Are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji. I think atonement.
Good. Atonement. Correct. So why you are hiding? You have to be present. So make sure who was the last who responded to the last question?
Bhavna Nebari.
So Mataji, make sure you give something to Pinky Mataji. Second, now this is true and false, and obviously you have to give a reason for it. Someone born in India automatically has a greater chance of going back to God than a person born in other countries.
Prabhuji, please repeat it.
Let me again. Someone born in India automatically has a greater chance of going back to God than a person born in other countries. True or false? And explain the reason as well. So we might ask, Lakshmi Mataji.
Prabhuji, it's false.
It's false. Why?
Yeah.
Why? In India, we have Vrindavan.
Prabhuji, it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, but Prabhuji, it's not necessary that the bhakti is pure. And her bhakti is pure for Krishna, according to me.
What is the reason? Exact, precise reason. Right on the nail. Somebody born in India has a greater chance of going back to God and engage in more devotional service. Is that? It's false. But what's the reason? Can you try? Somebody else can try?
Prabhuji, may I try?
Okay. Kishori Lakamani.
That Prabhuji, in India, all are not devotees. So they don't all have a right to go to God, back to Godhead.
Oh, okay. Good attempt. Let me ask someone from the group. Sagar Khatrani. Would you give a try? Sagar Khatrani. What, according to chapter 5?
हरे प्रभु, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु। प्रभु
Yes.
मैंने सुना नहीं बहुत सारी क्वेश्चन
सुना नहीं? इंडिया में जिसने जन्म लिया है उसके ज्यादा चांस है भगवत धाम जाने के, बाकी जिसने बजाय जिन्होंने और किसी देशों में जन्म लिया है। सही है या गलत है ये बताइए बस।
प्रभु गलत है,
क्यों गलत है? अकॉर्डिंग टू
क्योंकि
चैप्टर
ये
5 ऑफ नेक्टो डिवोशन।
कंपल्सरी थोड़ी है कि इंडिया में जन्म लें तभी हम भगवान के धाम जा सकते हैं। प्रभुपाद ने तो पाश्चात्य देश में जाकर भी प्रचार किया, उनको भी मतलब प्रीचिंग दी। तो मतलब हमारी भक्ति डिपेंड करती है कि हम
According to chapter 5, what is the reason? Precise reasons. One line answer.
Prabhuji, I found that in chapter 5.
Now you stay quiet. Your chance is gone. Prachi Mataji, what's the reason?
No.
Okay, no. Ritika joined some. Okay. I'm trying to find. Meena Dharwani. Is that possible? Because today is the last class, so I could see, have a darshan of all the devotees. Because we don't know what next we can meet. Meena Dharwani. What's the precise reason?
Because Prabhuji, devotional service is not depend on races like
On
one's gender, race, or any other thing. It is not
gender
dependent on
and
that.
gender and gender. We are talking about place. Very, very, very close. We didn't mention male or female, whatever, but so Pinky Kumari Madhavi, you give a try.
Prabhuji, Bhakti is independent. Bhakti is
Of?
not dependent on anything.
On here in this
Material
case
conditions.
is not dependent on one's
Material conditions.
which material condition? One's birth. Okay.
Birth, one's color,
Okay.
or one's religion.
Okay, you lost the answer. Now you can say anything. Second question. A sannyasi in ISKCON has more opportunity to attain or say to go back to Godhead than sincere grasta because of his renounced dress. True or false? What do you say? Give a reason for anything. Diya Mataji, would you like to give a try? Diya Mataji? A sannyasi has a greater chance of going back to Godhead than a sincere grasta.
No,
Is that
no,
okay? Is
Prabhuji,
that correct?
because
No.
no,
Sannyasi.
it's not correct.
Sannyasi has a no. Okay, give a reason for it. If it is no.
Because प्रभुजी सन्यासी जरूरी नहीं है कि जो सन्यासी है वो
हाँ.
सिंसियर भी हो, तो सिंसियर तो कोई भी भक्त हो सकता है, जरूरी नहीं है सन्यासी है तो वही गॉड पे मतलब वो भगवान के साथ वापस जा
So what
सकता
is
है।
the reason according to chapter 5? Bhakti is independent of one's. Bhakti is independent of one's which category?
Community,
Community.
caste,
Particular class.
Meg Madhavi, you're spoiling everything. Now you have to give it a gift. So Bhakti is independent of one's varnashrama. So the next, whosoever answers the question will be given a gift by Mehak Molani. Okay? That is your punishment. Stay quiet until I ask you to answer the question. Bhakti is self-sufficient. It does not require the support of karam, gyan, and yoga to become perfect. Right or wrong?
Prabhuji, please repeat the question.
Bhakti is self-sufficient. It doesn't require the support of karam, gyan, and yoga to become perfect. Okay. Aishwarya Mataji, what do you say? She's there. Aishwarya Mataji. She was there. I saw her name, but okay. Varsha Mataji, would you give a try?
Hare Krishna. True.
True. Why?
Because bhakti is not limited to any particular class, society.
Okay, correct. Next question. By chanting Hare Krishna sincerely, one automatically let me make it more harder. The same question. So if I chant Hare Krishna, and so whatever sins I've committed will be purified. So there is a catch in the question. It's not so simple. If I chant Hare Krishna, I can nullify all my sinful reactions, provided what? Can somebody answer this question? So the concession is given in which case I can chant, I can purify all my sins, provided there has to be one condition. Behek Mulani Mataji, what do you say?
प्रभु जी, if अगर कोई sincerely chant करवाए या devotional service करवाए तो वो ब्रह्मा के high class stage पे आ सकता है.
Okay. Provide
He
this
can
one
achieve high
condition.
class stage.
This is one condition. Shobha Mataji, Chayo.
प्रभु
This is the last question.
प्रश्न तो कौन रिपीट करो इस मतलब
क्वेश्चन दोबारा बोलूं? अगर मैं चैंटिंग करता हूँ सिंसियरली तो मेरे सारे पाप खत्म हो जाएंगे, लेकिन अगर एक चीज करी तो I think we discussed in the class yesterday. थोड़ा मुश्किल क्वेश्चन है, कुछ तो बोलो.
हमें लगा मतलब मुझे ये लगो पे कहना जो आंसर यो थी तो
छा दिनों को
असां सिंपल एक्टिविटी असां जाता सजा का जेके पापन में मिट जेंदा बट उहे जेके असां अनइंटेंशनली कया आहिनि ना कि जेके असां इंटेंशनली कया आहिनि उहे बि धोपजी वेंदा ये त न थींदो न.
अनइंटेंशनली भी हो जाएंगे, बट कृष्णा कैन फॉरगिव वंस और ट्वाइस.
अगर हम बार-बार गलतियां करेंगे
but the main catch here in this in the question is here, one should not have this intention. I can purify my sins, and I continue to commit sins and purify my sins by chanting with this intention. That intention should not be there. Okay. Last question. Just let me see if I can find some question. Chapter 5. One last question. How can somebody become a Vaishnava? Or rather, who can become a Vaishnava? First class devotees. How can someone become a Vaishnava? Simple.
By chanting Hare
Riya
Krishna name?
Mataji, according to chapter 5. Simple.
Prabhuji, by chanting and glorifying Krishna, one can become Vaishnava.
According to chapter 5. It is correct answer. According to chapter 5. Who's there?
Discharging devotional
So
service.
Aishwarya Mataji, you're back again. Would you like to answer this question? How can somebody turn into a Vaishnava? Even not being born in Brahmana family, he can become a Vaishnava, or she can become a Vaishnava. Simply by one thing. Prabhupada mentions. Okay. So Roshni Mataji, now you give it a try. Just.
By following the orders of spiritual master.
Yeah. And which order? By initiation. Is okay. Close, so obviously. Let us go forward with the presentation today now. So we have the first group. Who's there in the first group? So we have divided you into 7 groups, and each group must have one spokesperson who's going to speak on behalf of the group. And I hope you were given certain principles, 3, 4, whatever, in any case. So who's the first group? You can speak in Hindi, Sindhi, English, as per your comforts. First group, Mataji, Krishnapriya Mataji. KRI, first group.
Aishwarya,
Barkha, Meena, and Seemal Sindhu Mataji.
So, amongst you, who decided to be a spokesperson?
Hare Krishna. So, Beena Mataji is going to present from our group.
So, Beena Mataji, Barkha Mataji, and who's the next one? Aishwarya Mataji.
And Seemal Mataji.
Okay, good. So, Beena Mataji, please explain to us, to all the class members, how can we accept spiritual master and all the first three. And Prabhupada mentioned these 3 are the main items of devotion service amongst all the 64s.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Yes.
प्रभु जी देख के भी पढ़ सकते हैं ना?
हाँ, कैसे भी करो, समझा दो मैं बस.
Hare Krishna. So my presentation topic is from chapter 6 and chapter 7, how to discharge the devotional service and evidence-based evidence regarding devotional principles. Firstly, we have to understand the chart of the 64 item of the sadhana bhakti. 64 item of the sadhana bhakti is divided into 2 parts. One is 20 items are the primary importance, and other are the 44 item of the service. Now, firstly, we have to divide the first 20 principle into 2 parts. The activities to accept, that is called pravritti, and other 10 activities are the activities to avoid, that is called nivritti. And the other part is 44 item of the service, again divided into 2 parts, which is 21 to 59 item of the sadhana bhakti. Prabhu,
just explain the principle. You're giving all background.
Okay.
You have 3 minutes to complete your presentation.
Okay. There are 10 preliminary necessity for discharging the devotional service. Among them, 3 are the most important. One is the accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of the bona fide spiritual master. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, verse 21, it is said, Prabhu that tell Maharaj Nimai that my dear king, please know for certain that in the material world there is no happiness. If it is simply a mistake to think that it is simply a mistake to think that there is happiness, because material world is full of miseries and suffering. A person who is seriously desirous for achieving the real happiness must seek out the bona fide spiritual master by taking the initiation from him. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse 34, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. It is said that try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, because the self-realized soul can impart a knowledge into you because he know the real truth. And one who desirous of actual happiness, one should approach a spiritual master and inquire from him submissively and render transcendental service to him. Now, what are the qualities of the spiritual master? Spiritual master is he who must realize the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation and argument, and thus be able to convince other of these conclusion. Everyone should take the shelter of such a spiritual master who have left all the material consideration and is on the path of the supreme Godhead in order to fulfill the mission of life, that is go back to the Godhead. Spiritual master is the one who has controlled the six agent of the senses, that is the tongue, the genital, the belly, the mind, the anger, and the words. Now, to accept a spiritual master, there is a crucial point come in life for the that a person by the great fortune get a bona fide spiritual master and get advance in the spiritual advancement. Then the second principle, accepting initiation from the spiritual master and receiving instruction from him. It is said that after taking initiation, disciple should accept a spiritual master as a representative of a supreme Lord. He should accept the spiritual master of God because he is the external manifestation of the Krishna. One should hear and speak about the Srimad Bhagavatam with all the respect and veneration for the spiritual master. And disciple attitude should be to satisfy the bona fide spiritual master, then it will be very satisfying and easy for him to understand and spiritual knowledge. The Vedas as well as Srila Rupa Goswami says that a person who has unflinching faith in God and the spiritual master everything became very easily revealed to him. From the wave of devotion, it is said that
it's done, I guess, no? We still have, okay.
Prabhuji,
Please,
third
please.
principle is remaining.
Okay.
प्रभु जी थर्ड प्रिंसिपल मैं सिंधी में बोल रही हूँ ठीक है सर्विंग द स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर विद द फेथ एंड कॉन्फिडेंस इनमें इहो पियो चवे कि तव्हांखे स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर खे जॾहिं तव्हां सर्व था कयो त उनमें पूरो तव्हांखे यकीन हुजे कॉन्फिडेंस हुजे जॾहिं तव्हां स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर खां इनिशिएशन वठी छॾी त जेको स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर आहे उनखे एज एन ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन वांगुरु तव्हांखे ना ई ट्रीट करिणो आहे ना ई उनखे सम्झणो आहे ऐं ना ई उन सां मतिलबु जेलस थियणो आहे कि वन हैज़ पजेस सम certain kind of position and असांखे बि मतिलबु one should not be envious of the spiritual master ना ही उनखां jealous थियणो आहे and then अगर को spiritual master खे सर्व थो करे उन ते faith थो रखे उनजी instruction मञे थो त उन demigods खे बि सर्व करे छॾियो आहे and faithfully अगर को spiritual master खे ॿुधे थो त उहो elevate थो थी वञे faith for him and spiritual master जी instruction जे according अगर को भगवत गीता ॿुधे थो या ॿुधाए थो या उनजी सभु instruction मतिलबु वञे थो त जेको आहे सो रेस थो थियो वञे certain platform ते.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Mataji. So we thank all the group members, Beena Kumari Mataji, Barkha Mataji, and Seemal Mataji, right? Seemal, for their wonderful explanation. Let me summarize it. Let me tell you a story first. There was one person, Michael, in 1965 in New York. And he was informed by his friend that there's an Indian Swami who is there in New York, and he's giving a spiritual discourse. So he was tempted to hear this Indian Swami. And this is 1965, Prabhupada arrived in America. And so he was given an address. As soon as he was about to enter into that building where Prabhupada was giving a lecture on the 5th floor without an elevator, so he smelled a strong, intense smell of beer and urine because there were a lot of hippies there. So they would drink and pass water there. And at first he was amazed. How can there be any spiritual discourse at such a place But since he had come from very far place, so he gave a thought, at least give a try to just see this Indian Swami. So he walked up to 5th floor of the building. And when he entered the room where Prabhupada was giving a discourse, he saw there were 4 people who were already there. And so he went inside the room and sat there. And he heard the Bhagavad Gita class, which Prabhupada spoke. And after the class, this gentleman, Michael, he asked few questions to Prabhupada. And one of the questions was, Prabhupada, Swamiji, why did you come here? At this age, you look like very old man. Why did you come here? And Prabhupada said, because my spiritual master told me to come here. And he was kind of perplexed. He meant, I mean, somebody told you to come and you came. I mean, he couldn't figure it out. Then after speaking with Prabhupada, because Prabhupada had brought 200 sets of Bhagavatam when he first arrived to America. So Prabhupada gave him the first canto of Bhagavatam, which is divided into 3 volumes. And he gave $16. That was the price which Prabhupada get that time, $16. And he bought the book. And he started reading. And this gentleman, Michael, also had some discussion about Gandhiji, some Indian politicians and other things. So somehow he was inspired to read the books. So this person was reading the first canto of the Bhagavatam at his home. So one fine day, verse by verse he was reading. So he found this quote. The secret of success in spiritual life is in satisfying the spiritual master. As soon as he read this quote, he immediately thought of the same question. Why did Prabhupada, this Swami, Indian Swami, and that it was not Prabhupada, it was Swami. Why did this Indian Swami came to US just on the order of spiritual master? He must be very committed disciple. And thereafter, this Michael started going regularly to Prabhupada's morning program and Bhagavad Gita classes. And today this Michael, who is this Michael? Who knows? This is the same person.
Michael Jackson.
Not Michael Jackson. It was Mukund Goswami Maharaj, who's still there with us. He lives in Australia, in Govardhan, some village there. That name of New Govardhan something is called there. So he was the first person to meet Prabhupada there. Not first in that sense, there were other devotees, but he was a part of the first initiated devotees of 11 disciples, which Prabhupada initiated in 1966 after the incorporation of ISKCON. So the essence of spiritual life for the disciple is to satisfy the spiritual master. And that is the secret of success in spiritual life, to satisfy one's spiritual master. So let me just go through the important content of it. Could you make me host, Madhuri? Just some essential points, then we'll go for the next presentation. We have enough time, I guess.
Yes, Prabhu, I have made you the host.
And this pastime is there in the book Miracle on the Second Avenue, written by Mukund Goswami Maharaj. So, I think we're in chapter 7. Everyone should try to find a bona fide spiritual master in order to fulfill his mission of life, which is to transfer himself to the plane of spiritual bliss. So, and Prabhupada also mentions here, everyone is seeking happiness. One cannot achieve real happiness unless he meets his spiritual master, because he can explain the real knowledge and the pursuit of real happiness. The attitude of his disciple is to satisfy the bona fide spiritual master. Then it will be very easy. One who satisfies the bona fide spiritual master, it will be very easy for him to understand spiritual knowledge. Yatha deve tatha guru. So this verse. So one who has unflinching, full faith in God and spiritual master, both, everything becomes revealed very easily. See Prabhupada's word. All he has to work for that faith in God, in Krishna, and spiritual master. And then everything becomes very easy. Spiritual life seems very difficult. One time, one disciple of Prabhupada, he was very disturbed. He asked Prabhupada, spiritual life is very difficult, following rules, chanting, because Westerners, they had different mindset. So he said, Prabhupada, this spiritual life is very, very difficult. Prabhupada says, yes, spiritual life is difficult, but material life is impossible. How can you live material life? So spiritual life is difficult, but it becomes easy if we satisfy this spiritual master and obtains his mercy. Okay, next, serving this. How one should serve the spiritual master? It says, with faith and confidence. Spiritual master must be accepted not only as my representative, but my very self. One sees as a spiritual master, and when spiritual master is giving any instructions, he sees Krishna is speaking through this person for me as my very self. Because he's not only he's a representation of Krishna, he's a very self. And that's Krishna is speaking through this person for my welfare, for my benefit. I think we have done the 3 parts, or is there something remaining? Yeah. Okay, serving the spiritual master, first 3 principles. Okay, next batch. Who is there in the next batch?
It's Aruna Mataji, Bhavna Nibwani Mataji, and Gungun Asudani Mataji. And also Neha Kundanani.
Who's a spokesperson? We just need bullet points, you understanding. If you read all the book, we can read ourselves also. Presentation means you have to organize it and then speak the bullet points, essential points, and cover the main aspect of the meaning of those principles. So who are, could you give a name again?
Aruna Mataji, Bhavna Nibwani Mataji, Neha Kundanani, and Gungun Mataji.
So is a spokesperson from your batch?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Gungun Asudani Mataji, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. मां ॻाल्हायां थी पंहिंजे ग्रुप जी तरफ़ां। असांजा 3 बेसिक जेके प्रिंसिपल्स असांखे जेके ॾिना विया था, उन में जेको पहिरियों आहे फॉलोइंग द फुट स्टेप्स ऑफ आचार्यास टीचर्स। त इन में छा आहे, स्कंद पुराण में ॿुधायल आहे कोई बि डिवोटीज़ जेको पंहिंजे शास्त्रास खे फॉलो नथो करे, पंहिंजे स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर खे फॉलो नथो करे, उहो कोई कंहिं बि हिकिड़े एडवांस लेवल ते नथो पुॼी सघे। ऐं उहो केतिरी बि कोशिशि करे उन खां पोइ उनखे फॉल डाउन अचिणो ई आहे, अगरि उहो स्क्रिप्चर्स फॉलो नथो करे ऐं पंहिंजे गुरू खे फॉलो नथो करे। आफ्टर दैट हिन में हिकिड़ो एग्जाम्पल ॾिनल आहे बुद्धिज़्म जो। सही बुद्धिज़्म नेट भी हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी आवाज अचे पई?
अचे पई, चयो हलो
जी। बुद्धिज़्म जो जेको एग्जाम्पल ॾिनल आहे इहो ॿुधायल आहे कि लॉर्ड बुद्धा एज़ अ इनकारनेशन ऑफ कृष्णा जेके आया हुया, उहे उन्हनि जा जेके फॉलोवर्स आहिनि उहे स्क्रिप्चर्स खे फॉलो न आहिनि कंदा, उहे जस्ट लॉर्ड बुद्धा खे फॉलो कंदा आहिनि, वेदास खे फॉलो न कंदा आहिनि। छो जो लॉर्ड बुद्धा त सिर्फ़ु पंहिंजी उनखे वायलेंस ख़तमु करण लाइ आया, बट उन जा जेके फॉलोवर्स आहिनि उहे वेदास खे फॉलो नथा करनि, उहे कृष्णा खे फॉलो नथा करनि। लेकिन लॉर्ड बुद्धा इहा प्रीचिंग बि ॾिनी हुई कि इन्हनि खे फॉलो करिणो आहे, बट हू फॉलो नथा करनि। जस्ट हू बसि इहो सोचनि था कि बसि असांखे बुद्धा खे फॉलो करिणो आहे, न स्क्रिप्चर्स खे ॾिसनि था, न मास्टर्स खे, नथिंग इन्हनि खे नथा ॾिसनि। त जेसि ताईं पाण पंहिंजे आचार्य जे फुट स्टेप्स ते न हलंदासीं, तेसीं पाण पंहिंजी भक्ति में प्रोग्रेस नथा करे सघूं। साधु ऐं शास्त्र प्रमाण जे अलावा उन जे बिना पाण अॻियां नथा वधी सघूं। इहे ॿई मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट आहिनि। एंड देन सेकेंड आहे इंक्वायरिंग अबाउट इटर्नल रिलीजियस प्रिंसिपल। हिन में इहो आहे कि जॾहिं कोई जाम सीरियसली एंड सिंसियरली डिवोशनल सर्विस में जुड़ंदो आहे न, त उन जा जेके स्पिरिचुअल एंड मटीरियल जेके बि नीड्स हूंदियूं या उन जूं डिज़ायर्स हूंदियूं, उहे कृष्णा पाण ई फुलफिल कंदो। उनखे उन जे पुठियां स्ट्रगल करण जी ज़रूरत न आहे। उनखे जस्ट पंहिंजी डिवोशनल सर्विस लाइ सिंसियर ऐं सीरियसली वर्क करिणो आहे। एंड देन द लास्ट वन, इनमें being prepared to give up everything material for Krishna satisfaction. Krishna जी satisfaction लाइ जॾहिं पाण पंहिंजो material desired sense gratifications खे पासे कंदासीं न त कृष्णा पंहिंजे लाइ सोचंदो। पाण जॾहिं कृष्णा लाइ सोचंदासीं तॾहिं ई कृष्ण पंहिंजे लाइ सोचंदो। ईअं कीअं ख़्यालु ईंदो? जॾहिं पाण कुझु एफर्ट्स कंदासीं, पंहिंजो निंडू हराम करे मंगल आरती में वेंदासीं, तॾहिं ई त कृष्णा खे पाण नज़र ईंदासीं मंगल आरती में। ऐं इहो आहे कि गिव अप करणियूं आहिनि पंहिंजूं सेंस इंजॉयमेंट्स एंड देन कृष्णा खे सेटिस्फाई करिणो आहे। दैट्स इट। थैंक यू।
Good, very good, very good. Krishna ke satisfy karno hai. So, let me share my screen just to give you essential points of the same. I think these are the principle 4 to 6, right? Krishna Priya Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I used to hear a lot from my spiritual master and quoting Rupa Goswami from Nectar Devotion. Whatever you have to give it up, you give it up. But don't let Krishna Bhakti slip away from your hand. So, following the footstep of saintly person, it is advised that a devotee follow the past acharyas and saintly person, because by such following one can achieve desired success or results with no chance of lamenting or being baffled in his progress. And same that you covered very nicely. Inquiring about eternal religious principle. So basically, one should inquire from the spiritual master, and one should follow the acharyas, and one should give up everything. One should be prepared to give up everything. This is important. Bhakti means what? Doing some do's and giving up some don'ts. One should be prepared. One should prepare himself or herself to give up everything. It seems like very everything. Okay, everything means everything. Everything material for Krishna's satisfaction. It may be difficult initially. We may be attached to so many things. Could be comforts or anything of your choice, but one should be prepared. One should make that preparation to give up everything material for Krishna's satisfaction. And one who does so, one who makes himself prepared to give up everything for Krishna, it's said, the opulence of Vishnu Loka, Vaikuntha, is awaiting for that person simply by just preparing yourself. The doors of the Vaikuntha, spiritual world, are waiting for you to come. Simple thing, isn't it? Krishna is waiting for you. Simply you have to prepare yourself to give up everything for Krishna, for Krishna's satisfaction. The doors of the Golok, Vrindavan, Vishnu Loka, they are waiting for you to come. One time Prabhupada told, my spiritual master had the key for the front door, and I had the back door key. So the doors are waiting for you to come. Just prepare yourself to give up everything material for Krishna's satisfaction. Yes, next, group third.
Hitika Mataji, Daya Mataji, and Komal Mataji, they are going to discuss principle 7 to 9.
Daya Mataji, we can take your question later, but let us just finish with the presentation.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, you have your question, you speak out. Let us see if we can take your questions or not.
Prabhuji, I have no issue if it is taken at last, so
Okay,
we can
then.
have longer discussion.
So Hitika Mataji, who has Komal Mataji
and Daya Mataji.
Daya Mataji. Oh, who is going to speak? Who is going to speak? Komal Mataji or Hitika Mataji? You are there.
Hare Krishna.
Hope your Wi-Fi and mic is okay.
Am I audible? आवाज आ रही है?
Yes. Done. Perfectly fine.
So the first point रोशनी माता जी डिस्कस करेंगी और लास्ट 2 मैं करूंगी.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
चलो.
Is it okay?
Not okay according to rule, but what we can do? You already have divided.
Okay, Roshni Mataji, go ahead.
हरे कृष्णा हमारा असांजो जेको पहिरियों पॉइंट आहे उहो आहे रिज़ाइडिंग इन अ सेक्रेड प्लेस मतिलबु जेके होली प्लेसिस हूंदियूं आहिनि उन्हनि जो असांखे छा स्पिरिचुअल बेनिफिट मिलंदो आहे जिते 3 एग्जाम्पल्स शेयर थियल आहिनि द्वारका जी जगन्नाथपुरी जी ऐं गंगा जी कि जेके माण्हू द्वारका में रहंदा आहिनि चाहे उहे 6 मंथ रहनि था या त हिकिड़ो मंथ रहनि था या इवन हिकिड़ी नाइट या त विज़िट करण लाइ वञनि था त मतिलबु होली प्लेसिस सम्झो त भॻवानु पाण उन प्लेस ते प्रेज़ेंट हूंदो आहे ऐं हुते वञण सां सिर्फ़ु उन जॻह ते रहण सां हुनजे भॻवान जे पेर जी धूल मटी जेका हूंदी आहे उनखे मथे ते हणण सां भॻवान जो ग्लोरीज़ अराउंड हूंदियूं आहिनि भॻवान जो बिकॉज़ भॻवान ते रहियो आहे भॻवान जी जेके लीलाऊं थियूं आहिनि सिर्फ़ु उन जॻह ते वञण सां माण्हुनि जा जेके सेंसिस हूंदा आहिनि माइंड हूंदो आहे प्योरीफाई थींदो आहे इवेंचुअली ऐं हुते जे जेके माण्हू आहिनि उनखे मतिलबु बॉडी छॾण खां पोइ इवेंचुअली वैकुंठ लोक वेंदा आहिनि ऐं उनखे सेम जेको लिबरेशन 5 टाइम्स पढ़ी हिकिड़ो स्वरूप मुक्ति उन्हनि खे उहा मिलंदी आहे उनखे सेम बॉडीली फीचर्स मिलंदा आहिनि सेम एज़ नारायण 400 बॉडीली फीचर्स मिलंदा आहिनि सिर्फ़ु द्वारका में होली प्लेस में रहण सां उहे बिल्कुलु प्योरीफाई थी वेंदा आहिनि ऐं सेकंड जेका एग्जाम्पल ते शेयर थियल आहे ब्रह्म पुराण में कि जेके जगन्नाथपुरी जा माण्हू हूंदा आहिनि उन्हनि खे त इवन जेके डेमीगॉड्स हूंदा आहिनि उहे हेॾो ज़्यादा एडमायर कंदा आहिनि कि जगन्नाथपुरी मतिलबु जेके डेमीगॉड्स हायर प्लेनेट्स ते रहंदा आहिनि उन्हनि खे बि उहे फैसिलिटीज़ कोन हूंदियूं आहिनि कि उहे भॻवान जी हुननि लीलाउनि में मतिलबु उन पार्टिसिपेट करे सघनि बिकॉज़ हायर प्लेनेट्स ते उहे फैसिलिटीज़ कोन हूंदियूं आहिनि पर जगन्नाथपुरी में जेको भॻवान ते पाण रहंदो आहे त माण्हुनि खे अहिड़ियूं ज़्यादा मतिलबु हुनजी लीलाऊं ॿुधण जो मौक़ो मिलंदो आहे ऐं उहे जेके माण्हू आहिनि डेमीगॉड्स एडमायर कंदा आहिनि कि असां वटि अवेलेबल कोन्हे त उहे माण्हू जेके आहिनि डेमीगॉड्स उन्हनि खे ॾिसंदा आहिनि कि हे जेके माण्हू आहिनि जेके वाइकुंठ लोक में आहिनि सेम उन जहिड़ा माण्हू आहिनि बिल्कुलु हिननि वटि सेम 400 फीचर्स आहिनि इवन दो उहे मटीरियल वर्ल्ड में रहनि था ऐं असां हायर प्लेनेट में रहूं था बट असां वटि उहे फीचर्स कोन्हनि जेके हिननि माण्हुनि वटि आहिनि उहे मटीरियल वर्ल्ड में रही ऐं जेका थर्ड एग्जाम्पल हिन लाइ कि गंगा जेका आहे असां ॿुधो आहे मतिलबु नेक्टर ऑफ लोट कृष्णास फीट आहे वाटर लाइक प्योर वाटर आहे त जेको गंगा हूंदो आहे उन में न तुलसी जेके तुलसी लीव्स सां कृष्णा लोटस फीट ते ऑफर कंदा आहियूं हुन में उनजो फ्लेवर हूंदो आहे त असां ॿुधो आहे कि तुलसी जेको लीफ हूंदो आहे उनखे सिर्फ़ु ग्रहण करण सां अंदरां इंसान पूरो प्योरीफाई थी वेंदो आहे त गंगा में त तुलसी जो ई पूरो फ्लेवर हूंदो त माण्हू जेके उनखे स्मेल कंदा हूंदा त अंदरां पूरा प्योरीफाई थी वेंदा हूंदा ऐं गंगा जो वाटर जिथे फ्लो कंदो आहे त कृष्णा जो ग्लोरीज़ हुन सां गॾु फ्लो कंदियूं रहंदियूं आहिनि ऐं गंगा जेको जेके माण्हू गंगा जे अराउंड हूंदा आहिनि गंगा जेको वाटर आहे उन्हनि खे एक्सटर्नली इंटरनली ॿिन्ही जॻहनि तां प्योरीफाई करे छॾींदो आहे सेकंड पॉइंट माता जी शेयर कंदी
ओके सो 8 पॉइंट जेकी आहे उहा आहे एक्सेप्टिंग ओनली वॉट इज़ नेसेसरी हाँ इनमें लिखियल हो कि वन शुड नॉट एक्सेप्ट मोर देन नेसेसरी हाँ फॉर सपोज असांजे आचार्यनि जे हिसाब सां असांखे रिकमेंड थियल आहे कि असांखे 16 राउंड्स करणा आहिनि बट मुंहिंजी लाइफ में मूं में एतिरी कैपेसिटी कोन्हे या मुंहिंजी रूटीन मूंखे इजाज़त नथी ॾे या मुंहिंजी वर्क लाइफ एतिरी आहे कि आउं 16 राउंड नथी करे सघां बट आउं जज़्बात में अची करे वाव खणी छॾियां कि मूंखे 16 राउंड्स करणा आहिनि ओके आउं 1 डे कयां सेकेंड डे कयां थर्ड डे कयां मतिलबु 4 डे न कयां विच में गैप अची वञे लाइक कंसिस्टेंसी सां न कयां उहा चीज़ ऐं मुंहिंजो वाव फेल थी वञे त उहा असां भॻवान जी सर्विस ते ऑफेंस क्रिएट कंदी एक्सेप्ट दे रेदर देन आउं इहो वाव खणा कि हा मुंहिंजी रूटीन जे हिसाब सां घणो 6 माण्हू करे सघां थी त आउं डेली सिंसियरली कंसिस्टेंसी सां उहा कयां त उहो मुंहिंजी प्रोग्रेस खे वधाईंदी ऐं उहा ऑफेंस कोन क्रिएट कंदी ऐं आउं पंहिंजे वाव ते पूरो हूंदमि ठीकु आहे मतिलबु उहो मुंहिंजी भक्ति खे ब्लॉक कोन कंदी अञा वधीक प्रोग्रेस कंदी एंड द लास्ट पॉइंट आई आहे ऑब्ज़र्विंग द एकादशी फास्ट हाँ एकादशी फास्ट करण सां जेको माण्हू एकादशी जो फास्ट रखे थो उन जा न सिर्फ़ु मतिलबु सिंपल रिएक्शन सां उहो आज़ादु थिए थो आज़ादु थींदो एंड उहो पाण एकादशी फास्ट सिर्फ़ु असीं पंहिंजे मतिलबु इवन हिकिड़ो खाधे तां फास्ट नथा रखूं असां उहो बि फास्ट उन लाइ रखूं था कि असीं पंहिंजे सेंसिस खे कीअं कंट्रोल कयूं लाइक असीं एंगर एॾो न कयूं न मतिलबु या ज़्यादा न ॻाल्हायूं ऐं पंहिंजे सेंसिस खे भॻवान जी सर्विस में इंगेज कयूं या उनजी ग्लोरीज़ करे या जीअं पाण आचार्य चवंदा आहिनि कि भाई नॉर्मल जेके राउंड्स आहिनि तव्हां एकादशी में ज़्यादा राउंड्स कयो इन जो मतिलबु आहे कि ज़्यादा भॻवान जी सर्विस में इंगेज रहूं ऐं इहो बि रिकमेंड थियल आहे कि असां जॾहिं बि कोई बि फास्ट कयूं त भॻवान जा फास्ट टाइम्स ॿुधूं
Good. I think your pastimes were, your principles were from 7 to 9, right, Mataji? Krishna Mataji? Good. So let me share my screen and then just take out the essential point from the purport. I think you have already well covered everything. Just to give you just some thoughts. Um, hmm. Yes. So this you have covered well, residing in sacred place. What if we cannot come to Vrindavan or any places like Dwarka? Hmm? Actually, usually it is said or it is seen also. Anybody who performs devotional service in those places like Dwarka, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, the devotional service is magnified million times. Thus, if you chant one rounds here in Vrindavan, say, it is as if you have chanted million rounds. That much benefit you get. And also in Vrindavan, you always can feel the presence of Krishna. In Dhama, the presence of Krishna is felt more intensely. That's the purpose of contacting Dhama, staying in Dhama. You can feel the presence of Krishna very, very strongly. And yeah, the next principle, accepting only what is necessary. So Prabhupada writes at the end, it is better if one fix up a regulative principle according to his ability and then follows that vow without fail. Anything that you commit to Krishna, obviously when you bring Krishna at your home also in the form of a deity or lamination, you have to make a promise how much service you will offer to the Lord. And anything you commit to the Krishna has to be followed. Now that sometimes you chant 2 rounds, sometimes 4 rounds. So you commit to Krishna. I'll offer this much service to you. And that will, Prabhupada says, that will make him advance in spiritual life. Follow the commitment to Krishna. So point is one should commit to Krishna and follow the commitment. And that will make him advance in spiritual life. Now, this is very important. The real reason for observing fasting on Ekadashi is to minimize the demands of the body. We just don't starve. And to engage our time in service of Krishna by chanting and performing similar services. The best thing to do on fasting days is to remember the pastimes of Govinda, reading Krishna book. And here is holy name constantly. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says one should measure one's advancement from one Ekadashi to another in every 15 days. So one should analyze how much advancement he has done or she has done. Should we keep Nirjala Ekadashi or on fruits, or I think you have kuttu or whatever, kuttu atta there in Pakistan maybe. What do you think on Ekadashi? Ekadashi should be kept on Nirjala, on water,
Depends on
Nirjala on fruit. What is the principle?
Nirjala.
Prabhuji, depends on the capability of a person.
We have seen some people can keep Nirjala, some people can keep on water, some people can keep on fruits, milk, and some people have to take some kuttu, whatever, podi atta, whatever. So whatever is fine. The main principle is to remember Krishna. If by keeping Nirjala Ekadashi, one is always hovering over this thought, when I'll get the food next tomorrow. So that remembrance of Krishna is not there. Now the next one is, who is the next one? 10th, 11th and 12th. I know, 10th, 11th.
That's Kashish, Rakhi Mataji, Doshna Mataji, Sagar Khatrani Prabhu, and Krishna Priya Mahaprabhuji. And like Rakhi Mataji is going to present.
Rakhi Mataji, please.
That Kashish, yeah.
Kashish, yes.
You have
Hare
two names.
Krishna Prabhuji. Yes. This is the 10th principle, worshipping the sacred trees like the banyan tree. So a devotee should respectfully worship sacred trees connected to the Lord Krishna because they are dear to him, and serving sacred trees pleases the Lord and purifies the heart. Srila Rupa Goswami gives reference from the Skand Puran that a devotee shouldn't not only respect banyan tree but also respect the tulsi, cows and Vaishnavas by giving obeisances, by worshipping and by meditating upon them. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 26, Krishna says, of all the trees, I am the banyan tree. Ashwatha Sarva Vrikshanam. So it is the manifestation of Krishna's opulence. So it is respectable and worshipable. And Tulsi is also the most dear to the Krishna. So it is saying that only by touching the Tulsi or only by offering the obeisances or chanting in front of Tulsi, especially in Karkat month, it purifies the heart and o- uh, it purifies our heart. So, excuse. Sri Rupa Goswami also instructed us to respect the cows and Brahmans. As we all know, Krishna loves the cows. Jiva Goswami says that Krishna becomes happy when we scratch cow with compassion, and when we give them grass or do parikrama. Cows become happy, and by them Krishna becomes happy. So we should worship and respect cows to please Krishna. So as Brahmins are respectable because they know the absolute truth. And they preserve the Vedic knowledge and guiding spiritual life, and serving the Vaishnavas also is also one of the most powerful devotional service. Bowing down, speaking respectfully, and remembering their devotion and trying to follow their footsteps. These devotional services are spiritually purifying, and they cleanses the heart, reduces sinful reactions, and bring pure love for God. So this is the first point, and the second is giving up the company of non-devotees. A Vaishnav should avoid the company of non-devotees. The company we keep shapes our devotion. A true Vaishnav protects his bhakti by keeping association with the Lord's devotees and avoid those who desire for material things. Lord Chaitanya was asked by his followers, how should a devotee behave in daily life? He replied that a true Vaishnav should avoid close association with non-devotees. Further, he explained two kinds of non-devotees who are against in the supremacy of Krishna and who are too
Okay. Oh,
materialistic.
okay. So I think it's covered. It's covered. You're just reading. We can also read out.
Uh,
So,
yes, Prabhuji, I have written, so
okay.
that's why.
Speak without reading. Can you speak without reading? I think she's muted. Mother, you're muted.
ओके अगर जो है हम जो है नॉन डिवोटीज के ज्यादा मिक्स होंगे तो उसके साथ हमारी जो डिवोशनल सर्विस है वो भी स्पॉइल हो सकती है, और वो हमें वीक कर सकती है। और एक कोटेशन है, प्रभु जी, आई हैव रिटन, सो आई एम वेरी कंफर्टेबल इन रीडिंग,
Okay.
सो इज इट ओके?
Okay.
ओके अगर हम ज़्यादा मिक्स होंगे और जो क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं और जो इग्नोर करते हैं कृष्णा से, उनके ज़्यादा मिक्स होंगे तो मटेरियल थिंग और जो मटेरियल थिंग्स में ज़्यादा इन्वॉल्व हैं, और इससे जो है हमारी जो डिवोशन है वो कमज़ोर पड़ जाएगी। और हमें जो है इस तरह से जो नॉन डिवोटीज़ हैं उनको उनका जो एसोसिएशन है उनको मतलब अवॉइड करना चाहिए, इग्नोर करना चाहिए। सो
Okay. We can finish this time. Your time is up. So basically, one should avoid the association of non-devotees, and there are many quotes. One can, important quote is there, heavy quote, in fact. And worshipping the sacred trees like banyan, amalki, and tulsi is there. That is very much clear. There's one thing on giving up the companies of just the companies of non-devotee. Yeah. Can you read this, somebody? Or let me read it for you. One should prefer to embrace a snake, tiger, or an alligator rather than associate with persons who are worshippers of various demigods, kinds of non-devotees who are impelled by material desires. Why is it so? Such an emphatic statement. Why is it so? Can somebody answer this question? What is wrong with association of devotees? One can, in fact, embrace a tiger basically you can die. Basically it's saying you must die.
यस प्रभु जी, बिकॉज वो जो है फिजिकली हमें हार्म कर सकते हैं, पर अगर हम नॉन डिवोटीज को का संग करेंगे तो हम वो है वो हमारी जो सोल है वो अफेक्ट होगी.
Is there, Mataji? What is
Hare
the
Krishna,
reason?
Prabhuji, basically, agar hum, for suppose we are mixing up with the one who is like worshipper of demigod, he is himself is confused because of being in associate sometime worshipping one demigod, after some time others demigod, so like a multi branch. And if we are with the animal, a single animal, he can harm us physically, then we our but bhakti will not lose. And हम मतलब ईअं आहे की असांजी जेकी भक्ति आहे न, उनखे को नुक़सान कोन थींदो. अगरि पाण उन एनिमल जी एसोसिएशन में अची पाण खे को नुक़सान थियो बि, अगरि मरी बि वियासीं न, वरी जेको जनम मिलंदो उहो भक्ति वरी उतां खां स्टार्ट थी वेंदी.
So it may spoil one's only this present lifetime if you embrace a snake or lion. But if you associate with devotees or non-devotees, it might spoil many lifetimes.
Yes.
So it's rather to forsake one life than to forsaking so many times, spoiling so many lifetimes. That's an idea. Okay, next group. So thank you so much for this group. Who's the next one? Group number 5, I guess. This is very important. Don't read word by word from the book. Just present us the essential points. Simple. Otherwise, book we can read ourselves.
Group number 5. Jaya Kumari Mataji, Kishori Lakha, Komal Kundanani, and Ishwar Prabhu, Ishwara Sudani. Principles 13 to 15 principles.
12 we have not covered. 12 to 14, I guess.
Prabhuji, I have messaged you that it is different on chapter 6 and its explanation is different on chapter 7.
Okay.
Jaya Kumari Kishori Mataji, Komal Kundani. Yeah.
किशोरी माता जी कर रही हैं एक्सप्लेन.
Please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, am I audible?
Perfectly.
Prabhuji, we have 3 principles from 13 to 15. The title of 13 is that one should not be very enthusiastic about constructing costly temples or monasteries. Prabhuji, it purpose that number 1, preaching over construction is that spreading Krishna message is our priority. And number 2, pure use of resources means that money should serve devotion, not luxury. Number 3, avoid showmanship. It's purpose that no temple built for name or prestige. Number 4, good distribution is supreme. It means that shared knowledge is greater than building. Number 5, balance enthusiasm. It means don't get overly attached to projects. Number 6, accept sincere offerings. Use what given with devotion. And number 7, heart as a real temple. Means that inner purity matters most. And the Prabhuji principle, the title of the 14th, that one should not try to read too many books, nor should one develop the idea of earning his livelihood by lecturing on or professional reciting Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Number 1. Read only books that strengthen devotion, like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and this matter of devotion that will give him sufficient knowledge to understand science of Christian consciousness. Number 2. Avoid reading many unnecessary books. Number 3. Don't use spiritual knowledge for fame or income. Number 4, stay humble and sincere in learning. And the last number 5, focus on quality not quantity in study. And the Prabhuji last qualification title is one should not be neglectful in ordinary dealings. It means that even while practicing Krishna consciousness, we must stay responsible and honest in daily life, fulfilling duties and treating others fairly. Devotion doesn't mean ignoring everyday responsibilities. Rather, Krishna consciousness enhances how we handle all aspects of life sincerely and attentively.
Perfect. This is par excellence. That should be the standard presentation. Bullet points, very precise, right on the nail. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me just summarize, just take 1 or 2 points. The best presentation so far, par excellence. Again. Can you see my screen now? No? Let me just. Okay. So this is important. I think she has covered all the points regarding constructing big temples. So the rule is that, stricture is that a person may have many disciples, but he should not act in such a way that he will be obliged. Spiritual master should not be obliged to any one of them for some particular action or favor. Why is it so? Why spiritual master should not be obliged for any favor? Usually the system is the Brahmanas in the society, they don't take any pay. They are not hired. Because if you take payment, if you take a favor, you have to give a favor back. You become morally and financially dependent on that person. A Brahmana means who is independent, who can tell the truth. And if a spiritual master takes a favor, is to give a favor. And that's not a pure Krishna consciousness. He cannot correct a disciple if he takes a favor. That's one repercussion. So as a spiritual master, one may not be doing a perfect job as training his disciple to be perfect Krishna conscious if a spiritual master is taking a favor. Let us go forward. This is an important point. Now, this section is important, rest I will just go through. So basically, a spiritual master sannyasi should examine his prospective candidate before he gives initiation. Basically, the point of the principle is one should not accept unfit disciples. Obviously, we have to increase the number of devotees, disciples. Otherwise, there is no propagation, spread of the cult of Krishna consciousness. So sometimes Prabhupada says, even at a risk, a sannyasi in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may accept even a person who is not thoroughly fit to be disciple. So Prabhupada gives sannyas to many devotees. And unfortunately, many of the disciples couldn't follow that. But it was a risk in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By mercy of such a bona fide spiritual master, disciple is gradually elevated. However, if one increases the number of disciples simply for some prestige, how many disciples I have? 10,000. And false honor, he will surely fall down. That spiritual master or guru will surely fall down. Oh, he has 10,000 disciples, I should have 15,000. That is a fall down. A bona fide spiritual master has no business reading many books simply to show his proficiency, how expert I am in giving so many verses. By the way, this is very important. Very important. Very important thing to consider. Whenever you get a chance to speak, maybe give a Bhagavatam class, maybe in your center. I think you have Kartik classes as well. Also, there morning, evening classes in Kartik. So whenever you get a chance to speak, we are speaking for whom? What is the attitude of a preacher or a person who's giving a class?
To please Krishna.
To please Krishna. What else?
खुद के लिए बोलो ताकि दूसरों को नहीं खुद को सुनाओ
खुद को सुनाएं.
Krishna को सुना रहा है.
Krishna consciousness.
What is
Spread
Krishna
Krishna
consciousness?
consciousness.
What is Krishna consciousness? Who is hearing your class? A preacher is giving class to whom?
Krishna.
Yeah. A preacher is giving class to Krishna. So Krishna can hear my class. It so happens that others are also hearing my class. So the attitude of a preacher is he's giving class. Usually in temple we have this system. We have a deities. He's not giving class. He's glorifying Krishna. He's glorifying the deities there. Or the class is heard by the deities there. And usually, how was my class? After the class, preacher says, "How was my class? What did you like?" So we should ask Krishna, "How was my class?" And that's a personal relationship with Krishna. A preacher is giving class to Krishna. Not class, in that sense, is speaking Krishna Katha for Krishna. And Krishna is hearing his Katha, not the public. It so happened that public is also sitting there in front of the deities. But actually, the Katha is only for Krishna. I want Krishna to hear my glorification of Krishna. And at the end of the class, a devotee should ask Krishna, "How was my class?" And you will see Krishna will tell you. If you ask Krishna sincerely, if you are devotees, "How was my class?" Okay, we can ask senior devotees. They will give you feedback. You could have improved it this way, or that philosophical concept could be explained with an example, so forth. But we ask Krishna. And obviously, it's not for prestige. People are liking my class. I give so wonderful class. People liking my classes. That attitude should not be there. So it's like a poison, hearing your own glorification. You give very good class. Only Lord Shiva can digest poison on his neck. We cannot. Hearing our own glorification is like a poison. It will destroy ourselves. So particularly, the class is not there to show our proficiency of knowledge. It is just a glorification of Krishna. And we want Krishna to hear our glorification for him. And let Krishna hear. And if you ask Krishna sincerely, he will let you know how you can improve. Okay. And we hope each of you take a moment in your life and glorify Krishna in any way you can. So basically, this is very important point now, the green one. Sannyasi should not be enthusiastic about constructing temples because he's supposed to preach. And Prabhupada says, but if someone comes and approach him, then he can allow you build the temple for Krishna. I belong to a temple which is one of the, I would say, India's most beautiful temple. Most beautiful. I don't think there'll be any other temple more beautiful like my temple where I stay. It's ISKCON Rohini. We invite you there. It's one of the piece of art, the palatial temple. Somehow, obviously. What's wrong with building this costly, expensive, with luxury temple? So much luxury there. What's wrong with that? What do you say? Anybody would say? What's wrong with making beautiful temple for Krishna? Shouldn't be temple so beautiful. It's a palace of Nanda Baba, obviously. Krishna lives in the palace of Nanda Baba. Chintamani, Prakar Satmasu. So the point is, for Krishna's sake, satisfaction, okay, a devotee can make any expensive temple. But one should take note that the whole energy should not be just invested in building up the temple, because we have seen in past 15 years, the temple took 15 years to make. Obviously, it was a devotion service for people to collect. But maintenance, luxury, also spoils the intentions of devotees living in the temple. Now they want more luxuries. So that is why spiritual master should focus on preaching. If so happens that somebody comes and approach and Prabhupada's writes here. But if somehow someone has money and wants to spend it in the service of Krishna, an Acharya like Rupa Goswami may utilize devotees' money to construct a temple, costly temple for the service of Krishna. But his energies should be focused on preaching. Next. It so happens that someone who is not fit to become a spiritual master may approach a wealthy person, a guru may approach a wealthy person to contribute for temple construction. If such money is utilized by unqualified guru for living comfortably in costly temples without actual doing any preaching work, this is unacceptable. And then Prabhupada gives the principle for the spiritual master. His first and foremost activity should be to preach. And the course of preaching, somebody comes or have money, or you build a temple for Krishna. Just like the 6 Goswami built Goswami temples there. Good. Let us go for the next group.
Group number 6. Lakshmi Mataji, Mehak Mulani Mataji, Naina Kundanani, and Poonam Bairani Mataji. And they will discuss principle 16 to 18.
हरे कृष्ण. So मैं एक्सप्लेन करने वाली हूँ 16 to 18 प्रिंसिपल्स. जो 16 है, मतलब फर्स्ट वन है जो मेरा, उसमें बताया गया है कि स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्डनेस इन द ऑर्डिनरी डीलिंग एंड इक्विलिब्रियम इन द लॉस एंड गैन. तो पद्म पुराणास में बताया गया है कि जो पर्सन कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में एंगेज होते हैं, उनको कभी भी कोई जो मटेरियल गेन या लॉस होता है उनसे कोई भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मतलब वो कभी भी इन चीज़ों से डिस्टर्ब नहीं होते. यहाँ पे मतलब एक्सप्लेन किया गया है कि जो सोल है, जो कंडीशनल सोल है, वो हमेशा है ना मटीरियलिस्टिक एक्टिविटीज की थिंकिंग में लगी हुई होती है. बट जब वो सोल फ्री हो जाती है इन सच टाइप ऑफ थॉट से और अपने आप को कंप्लीटली ट्रांसफर कर देती है कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में, फिर उनको कोई भी मटेरियल गेन और लॉस से कोई भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता. एंड सेकेंड वन इज द डेमीगॉड्स. तो यहाँ पे बताया गया है कि हमें कभी भी हमारी जो रिस्पेक्ट है वो है ना, मतलब हमें निगलेक्ट नहीं करना चाहिए रिस्पेक्ट टूवर्ड्स द डेमीगॉड्स. बिकॉज यहाँ पे बताया गया है जो कृष्णा है, हवि है, ये ऑल डेमीगॉड्स है, उनका मास्टर है. तो हम, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हमें उनको रिस्पेक्ट मतलब हमें उनको रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करनी चाहिए. कृष्णा सब डेमीगॉड्स का मास्टर है, तो हमें उनको भी रिस्पेक्ट देनी चाहिए. जैसे वैष्णव फिलोसॉफी में बताया गया है कि एक वैष्णव का मतलब जो क्वालिटी है वो है कि एक आंट को भी हमें रिस्पेक्ट करनी है, क्योंकि उसके अंदर भी सोल है और वो सोल एक सोल कृष्णा का सर्वेंट एंड पार्ट एंड पार्सल है. तो इफ अगर जो डेमीगॉड्स हैं वो तो बहुत हाई स्टेज पे आ जाते हैं, तो हमें उनको कैसे रिस्पेक्ट नहीं देनी चाहिए. जैसे वैष्णव कल्ट का जो क्वालिटी है वो मतलब ये बताई जाती है कि हमें एक आंट को भी रिस्पेक्ट देनी है, तो इसलिए हमें डेमीगॉड्स को भी रिस्पेक्ट करनी चाहिए, बिकॉज कृष्णा ही सब डेमीगॉड्स का मास्टर है. एंड थर्ड वन इज नॉट गिविंग पेन टू एनी लिविंग एंटिटी. यहाँ पे बताया गया है कि जो पर्सन है या जो डेवोटी है, वो कभी भी ये नहीं सोचता कि है ना, इवन अपने माइंड में भी नहीं सोचता कि मुझे किसी और लिविंग एंटिटी को पेन देना है या उनको डिस्टर्ब करना है. यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल बताई गई है, जैसे एक फादर होता है, वो अपने बेटे या बेटी से जितना प्यार करता है एक प्योरली हर्ट में, वैसे ही अगर एक डेवोटी अब दूसरों के लिए प्यार करेगा, अपने दिल में उनके लिए प्यार बनाए रखेगा, उनको किसी भी हार्म से मतलब बचाएगा या उनको कोई भी पेन नहीं देगा, तो वो बहुत फेवरेबल होगा टुवर्ड्स कृष्णा.
Okay, good. Just 1 or 2 points. Thank you so much for your concise presentation. Just 1 or 2 points. Thank you to all the group members. Then the last. I think last they have only one quality. Basically, it says one who does not disturb others.
Two clarification.
Two clarification.
Yes.
Question at the end. I'll come to the question at the end.
No, there are two remaining. 19 and 20.
She's saying two devotional service, the principles, two are remaining, 19 and 20.
They'll explain. 19 is not there because it will be covered later, I guess, right? That's the 8th chapter. So basically, one who doesn't give any pain and doesn't disturb other, he becomes favored by Krishna. Krishna becomes pleased. A sign of a gentleman. He doesn't put others into inconveniences. I think Shonagrishipu mentioned. Prabhupada mentioned actually. And within the heart of a person who is overpowered by lamentation or anger, do we get angry? Yes. Do we have lamentation? Do we have anxieties? Then there's no possibility of Krishna's being manifested. So what should we do in the case of lamentation and when the anger is there?
Pray and practice.
Always consult some devotee, share with devotee.
एसोसिएशन हो अपने सेंसेस को कंट्रोल करना चाहिए.
Anger cannot be controlled. Amongst all the urges of 6 urges, we read this book, Nectar of Instruction. Anger cannot be controlled. It can only be channelized. Bottling up the anger, proper mention, bottling up the anger.
Utilizing it.
It can be channelized for those who are envious of the Lord and Lord's devotees. If you are angry on those who are envious of the Lord's and Lord's devotees, your anger will be channelized. Actually, Prabhupada says in the Bhagavatam, as soon as one becomes angry, his body is polluted, contaminated. So, but yes, sometimes a senior devotee may also get angry for correcting someone, but that is transcendental anger, spiritual nature. If it is not from false ego, obviously, so it is just for someone's welfare. And lamentation, anxieties. One becomes beautiful when one is following his nature. The life becomes beautiful, lighter. So many anxiety we have in the life because we don't know what is my nature. We're figuring out. So one becomes lighter with his anxieties. One is following his nature. So one should, if one is loving what he wishes to do, so many things are sorted out in life, in our life. So the last point, sorry. The last presentation is the last group.
Yes,
principle number 20th. This is very
20th.
important.
Group 7, Prachi Mataji, Damni Mangwani Mataji, Riya Mulani, Shobha Lalwani, and Varsha Mataji. 20th principle.
We'll discuss. Damni will discuss.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dana Pranams. Volunteering Kandas, Tapanji ko topic or blasphemy.
This is your second Bhakti Shastri batch, right? You have already done Bhakti Shastri.
It's my first. पहले लिया था मैंने, but just unit work किया था.
Okay. I saw you in the class here. Okay.
तो blasphemy. Basically, जैसे आप बात कर रहे थे एंगर की, अभी हमारी बात हुई एंगर की. अब एंगर भी कैसे है, जैसे अगर हम देखें एग्जाम्पल से स्टार्ट करेंगे, लॉर्ड चैतन्य महाप्रभु से, वो बहुत ही शांत है, ठीक है, लेकिन जब बात आई उनकी डिवोटीज की, नित्यानंद प्रभु पे बात आई तो उनको एंगर आया था. क्यों? क्योंकि जो नित्यानंद प्रभु पे अटैक किया गया था, किसने? जगाई एंड मदाई पे अटैक किया गया था. तो वैसे अगर बात आती है ब्लास्फेमी की, अगर कोई गलत बात कर रहा है लॉर्ड कृष्ण, लॉर्ड के ऊपर या उनके डिवोटीज पे, तो फिर टॉलरेट नहीं कर सकते, हम टॉलरेट नहीं करना चाहिए. तो कुछ और एग्जांपल्स हैं, जैसे कि हमारी एग्जाम थी लॉर्ड चैतन्य की, और दूसरी एग्जांपल ये है कि जैसे हनुमान की एग्जांपल है, उन्होंने लंका जलाई थी. क्यों? जैसे ना उनके सीता पे बात आई थी, वो भी एक डिवोटी हैं, तो उन पे बात आई थी, जिस वजह से हनुमान जी ने लंका जलाई थी. उन्होंने अपना एंगर सही जगह पे किया, लेकिन वो टॉलरेट भी नहीं किया. क्यों? क्योंकि उनकी डिवोटीज पे बात आई थी. ऐसे ही और भी बहुत सी एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. एंड यस, इन चीजों को अब हमें डील कैसे करना चाहिए. इन चीजों को, अगर कोई गलत बात कर रहा है तो हमें उन चीजों को डील कैसे करना चाहिए. एक ये है कि या तो हम आर्ग्यूमेंट करें. आर्ग्यूमेंट तब करें जब हम उस चीज को, बात को ओवरकम कर सकते हैं, मतलब एक्सेप्ट करवा सकते हैं कि हाँ ये चीज ऐसे है, अपोजिंग पार्टी को डिफीट कर सकते हैं, फिर ही हम आर्ग्यूमेंट करें, वरना नहीं हमें करनी चाहिए. दूसरा ये है कि चुप नहीं रहना चाहिए. अगर चुप रहना है तो इससे बेहतर यही है कि अपने आप प्राण दे दे, should give up his life. और जो थर्ड है वो ये है कि उस जगह को छोड़ के चला जाना चाहिए. अगर आप ये तीनों में से कोई भी नहीं कर सकते, इससे बेहतर तो आप डिवोटी ही नहीं है, आप डिवोशनल जो है पोजीशन है उसमें नहीं रहते. यस, दैट्स इट.
Okay, last one the same.
Krishna Prabhu.
Prachi Mataji, you have something to say? Okay, please.
Want to add some again? One example, Prachi Mataji wanted.
At least she's speaking for the first time. We'll give her a chance for sure in the class.
Okay. Hare Krishna, for example, when Durvasa Rishi insulted the devotee Ambrisha Maharaj, Lord Vishnu immediately sent his Sudarshan Chakra to protect the devotee. This shows that offending a devotee is equal to offending the Lord himself. इसके पीछे ना एक रीजन है तो कहने को रीजन भी आया था जेको दुर्वासा ऋषि है उन्होंने जेको ना अमरीशा महाराज जी चोन सट के भी निजो छो अपमान कयो हो त उन पे इहो रीजन आया था जॾहिं ना अम्बरी जॾहिं जेको दुर्वासा ऋषि जेको आहे न उहो जेको हुन इलाही गुस्से वारो तपस्वी ऋषि हो ऐं हिकु ॾींहुं जेको आहे न अमरीशा महाराज जेको आहे न एकादशी जो विर्त तोड़ियो हो त न पाणी मां विर्त तोड़ियो हो एकादशी जो ऐं हिन ऋषि जे बग़ैर ऋषि जे अचण खां पहिरीं जेको आहे एकादशी जो विर्त तोड़े छॾियो हो ऐं उन करे जेको हुन ऋषि खे गुस्सो अची वियो हो ऐं उन जेको आहे महाराज खे न छा शराब ते ॾिनो त शराब ॾिनी शीशे कयईं त जेको आहे न मां तोखे शराब थो ॾियां त उन टाइम ते जेको आहे न लॉर्ड विष्णु जेको आहे न पंहिंजो सुदर्शन चक्र मोकिलियो उनखे जेको आहे न पंहिंजे महाराज खे जेको आहे न प्रोटेक्ट कयईं पंहिंजे वोट खे प्रोटेक्ट कयईं जेको आहे न उहो सुदर्शन चक्र मोकिले करे प्रोटेक्ट कयईं ऐं जॾहिं जेको हुनखे पनिश त मिली त महाराज न ऐं दुर्वासा ऋषि खे जॾहिं पनिश मिली त हुन जेको आहे न महाराज खां जेको आहे न माफ़ी वरिती ऐं हुन उहो रियलाइज़ कयो त जेको आहे न भॻवानु जेको आहे न पंहिंजे भक्तनि जी जेकी आहे न इंसल्ट जेको आहे बर्दाश्त नथो करे सघे
Thank you, Hare Krishna, for completing your story at least. So basically, blasphemy or criticizing other devotees, particularly, it can be applied to non-devotees. I mean, that's okay. One should keep one fast in one's life. That should be standard of one's devotees. That is called criticism fast. And Rupa Goswami Nectar of Instruction says, what standard of devotee one should be aspiring to associate with. And he says the standard is Ninda Adi Shunne Hridayam Epasita Sangalaptya. One is devoid of criticizing these tendencies or proclivity of criticizing other devotees. Actually, both the genders, male and female, they have different tendencies. They have different issues with that body. When we're dealing with a male person, the most prominent element is ego. We have to deal more. And particularly when we're dealing with, say, Matajis, that envy part is more prominent. For someone, the eyes are the prey. Eyes are the problem. For someone, the ears are the problem. So the point is, the whole point in being material world is why we are here in the material world. Prabhupada says from Ant to Brahma, everyone is envious. But in a particular body, that part is more prominent somewhere. Like it's not that the male doesn't have envy or jealousy; it's there everywhere. But the false ego part is more there in the male body. So as we make advancement in spiritual life by regular hearing and chanting, getting purified, this envy is purified. And then the tendency to blaspheming others, criticizing others because of envy or jealousy. There are three things: dislike, jealousy, and envy. They are of different categories, different grades. We may not like someone because of just karma chemistry doesn't match. We don't like someone's behavior, kind of dealings, demeanor. We don't like someone's overall personality because there's karma mismatch, chemistry mismatch. Jealousy means, so okay, because of the karma, there's a like and dislike. That's a dislike. Jealousy means, okay, you don't like this person. But envy means you even try to harm this person. So this is of the highest category. Jealousy, you're jealous of his advancement. Even devotees, sometimes this happens in the neophyte devotees. You're jealous of somebody's advancing in spiritual life, attention of the seniors, others getting more services, appreciation from the people in general. So, and envy means you're doing something harm. So there's some do's, there's some don'ts. Every day one should be reminded by proper hearing and chanting. Don'ts means one should be always reminded that I have to keep one fast in my life. That is criticism fast. And that will make you very quickly advance in spiritual life. Don't criticize anything. Everyone has their own karma, their life, whatever. Let me not indulge myself in criticizing other devotees and spoil and harm my own devotional service. It is said if you criticize some devotees, one gets a reaction. Even you hear a criticism from another devotee about another devotee, there's a reaction to it. Jiva Goswami says. So one should avoid hearing and speaking ill about the devotees in general. But in case, if you are the who has the authority to correct person to criticize? So there are many authorities mentioned in the Bhagavatam. If you are one of the authorities, like parents, mother is one authority. If you're mother of a child, you can correct, you can criticize, you can correct a child. This is bad. And if you're a father, you can correct a person. Even in that case, also, if you're the one of the authorities, say relatives, Janani, mother, father, guru also is one authority. So it has to be done very cautiously, because if it is done, it is called constructive criticism. Constructive. I'm doing it for his benefit, someone's benefit. I'm criticizing a devotee for his benefit. So, but that is a religious edge of his sword. I mean, it can cut ourselves. The point is, general rule is a devotee should not criticize anybody else, should not hear. That will make us advance in devotional service. There can be dislike, there can be jealousy within the heart, but at least the devotee should not physically do some action to harm a devotee. That is the envy. Dislike can be tolerated, jealousy can be there in the heart, but still, unless we get purified, it will be there, obviously. But don't do at least to harm a devotee. That is envy, physically, taking an action to harm a devotee. And the most one who's speaking, criticizing other devotees, usually it happens because when we have a free time, second, when we're lacking gravity in Krishna consciousness. There's no gravity. So absorb your mind in Krishna, and that's how you can win over these lower natures. Yes, any questions so far? We have done the 20 principles, and this is the end of the class. Finally, formally, we are winding up this at least at chapter 7. And chapter 8 onward, 8 to 13, will be taken by Bimla Prasad Prabhu after Atul Kish Prabhu classes. I think on 3rd November, you have class by Atul Kish Prabhu, and Prabhuji will continue from chapter 14 to 19. And the remaining in between chapters like 8 to 13 will be taken by Bimla Prabhu. So I think there, Mother, you had questions, and finally we are just winding up now. So this is the end of the class, at the end of our topic so far. Hope if we continue to meet in the future in the Bhakti Vaibhav, so we can have more discussions. So it's a pleasure associating with all the devotees, and this is probably one of the best batch I've ever seen in my past 3 years or 4 years of conducting Bhakti Shastri courses. So in our institute, we have almost like 1,000 devotees that have graduated from Bhakti Shastri course. So probably this is one of the best batch we have ever seen. All the wonderful devotees with a lot of engagement, interaction, and thoughtful, intelligent questions. So it was a very pleasurable experience for me. Yes, Poonam Behrani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Actually, it's Tulsi Mataji here.
Acha.
I
Yes.
was like in your recent batch, like Daya, Devika, and Tulsi.
आप तुलसी अच्छा.
एक्चुअली मुझे आई वाज लाइक कि मुझे आपकी क्लास कर लेनी है, बट मेरी बहन ने बताया कि आज प्रभु की आखिरी क्लास, मैंने कहा प्रभु को बोल देती कल मेरा आखिरी पेपर है, मैं वो देखे उसके बाद प्रभु की क्लास.
Oh, you didn't miss anything because I didn't speak anything special. So other speakers are more special.
Prabhu ji, actually, I have taken a class of
Better luck
NOI. आपने जो 3 वर्सेस हमें पढ़ाई थी ना, स्टिल उस फर्स्ट वर्स का मुझे वो एक सेंटेंस आपका याद है. यू सेड इट कि आपको प्रसादम सिर्फ तब एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए व्हेन इट इज मेड बाय डिवोटी, ऑफर्ड बाय डिवोटी एंड सर्व्ड बाय. ये दिमाग में ऐसे छप गया है कि बस. बट प्रभु जी मैंने मिस कर दिया एंड आई एम लाइक फीलिंग वेरी
Tulsi Mataji, for this you have to go for a big atonement. Prabhuji won't forgive you.
I will like अगर कोई दूसरा बैच हुआ ना भक्ति शास्त्री जिसमें मुझे पता चला कि रसाल प्रभु कोई फैसिलिटेट कर रहे कोई कोर्स, I will be there.
बड़े अच्छी आता है.
Somehow I'm not a teacher. Somehow I'm not a teacher. I don't take. Although from my coordination we have 1,000 Bhakti Shastri students. They have graduated almost. But somehow I don't feel myself to be a teacher. I don't teach. I mean, usually I teach once a year, just in Pakistan. That's it there. So I've been teaching in Pakistan since 2021. That's a batch of Deena Pamani, Gaurpiya Mataji, Darshana Mataji. Otherwise, I don't teach normally. I don't like to be a
It
teacher.
means, Prabhuji, we are super lucky then. We Pakistani devotees are.
No lucky. I'm just
प्रभु
speaking.
जी मुझे भी लकी होना है, मैं भी क्लास लूंगी.
No, I'm just speaking for Krishna. Just Krishna to hear, and it so happened that devotees are also sitting there. So yes,
sweet. Thank you so much, Prabhu ji.
Thank you. And in fact, I wanted to see who is Tulsi. You are Tulsi Mataji, right?
Yes.
I wanted to see who is Tulsi Mataji. We heard you. So I just have. Yes, Daya Mataji.
प्रभु जी, my question, मुंहिंजो सवाल इहो आहे, लाइक पहिरीं त इहो कि लिखियो मूंखे विसरी वेंदमि. मतलब द वन जो है ना, जेको है ना हुन गुनगुन माता जी डिस्कस कयो हुओ न, गिविंग अप एवरीथिंग फॉर कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस. सो लाइक एंड उते ई बि पॉइंट आयो कि हर चीज गिव अप करे छॾे नी तॾहिं कृष्णा ॾिसंदो. त लाइक rather than saying that, पाण ईअं कोन था चई सघूं कि जेकी मटीरियल थिंग्स आहिनि उनखे ई पाण कृष्णा सां कनेक्ट कयूं, नॉट टू गिव अप ऑन दैट. सो लाइक गिव अप करे छॾण ऐं कनेक्ट करनि त ई डिफरेंट शइ थी वई.
Rupa Goswami will say further. Will describe this.
बी चीज भी ऐड करनी है, वो करे वठां.
One should not give up that thing which can be engaged in Krishna service. And a devotee should know a perfect connection between Krishna and the things. If you can connect that thing which you want to give it up to Krishna service, and Rupa Goswami say this is not this is a false renunciation actually, a false detachment. If you cannot see the connection of that thing which you want to give, and you give it up, and actually that thing can be actually engaged in Krishna service, it's a false renunciation. So one must find nirbandhe Krishna sambandhe yukta viragya sauchate. One should find a proper connection of the things with Krishna and utilize that thing in the service of Krishna. So that is called yukta viragya. So one should not become just falsely renounced, but one should find actual connection between Krishna and the thing, that shay. So between that thing and Krishna. So anything can be engaged in Krishna's service. Obviously, a pure devotee can engage everything in Krishna's service. Only I think that envy cannot be engaged in Krishna's service. Rest everything.
Prabhuji, the thing is, we are living in a material world. Everything is material. So how could we say that we should give up everything material and then Krishna will see us? It is something I'm not digesting.
In spiritual life, some things are favorable. Some things are not favorable. So material here means which is not favorable in Krishna consciousness, which is unfavorable. Anukulena, pratikulena. So something that cannot be engaged in Krishna's service is material. Anything that can be engaged in Krishna's service is
not considered material.
Not material. It is spiritual. Somebody is working, just kam karda hai ho, tam acha karda hai. Koi padhta hai na. Somebody is studying, somebody is working, somebody is teaching in school. So it is all spiritual. Because you're doing it for Krishna satisfaction. Obviously, we have this body. We have to maintain this body and all together. You have to work. And you also gave example, in your talk, I think in in your Gita class,
बस ये थे कोने का
कोई कमा के लाता है तो कुछ खरीदता है, तो घर की चीजें है, सफाई होती है, सब कुछ होती है, क्योंकि कृष्ण का टेम्पल है मंदिर, है ना? आई थिंक यू नो दिस एग्जांपल, यू गिव योरसेल्फ।
Okay, the class I gave.
सो गुनगुन असुदानी माता जी, हाँ जी।
प्रभु जी बस मां एड करण बि चाहियो इहो ई कि कृष्ण खे सेंटर फोकस रखणो आहे। ईअं न आहे कि हाणे गिव अप करे वठिणो आहे त सभु कुझु छॾे पियो सन्यासी थी वञी करे पहाड़ ते तपस्या करण वेही रहूं। त इहो कृष्ण खे फोकस रखणो आहे, मेन फोकस उहो हुजे, देन बाक़ी सभु गिव अप करणो आहे, पंहिंजे प्लेजर खे छॾिणो आहे, कृष्ण जे
बिल्कुल
प्लेजर खे।
ॾाढो सुठो, बिल्कुल ठीक है।
प्रभु
परफेक्ट।
जी मूंखे न इहे शयूं ख़बर आहिनि, पोइ बि कुझु नओं निकिरी अचे इन करे सवाल पुछणी आहे, सही आहे। ऐं हिकिड़ी ॿी चीज़ बि पुछणी आहे, दैट इज़ लाइक ईअं आहे की रिज़ाइडिंग इन होली प्लेसिस, इहो जेको आहे मतिलबु पाण ईअं बि चवंदा आहियूं कि जिते बि कृष्ण जो मंदिर आहे, जिते बि कृष्ण जी ग्लोरिफिकेशन आहे, जिते बि कृष्ण जा डिवोटीज़ आहिनि, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वृंदावन, ठीकु आहे। सो लाइक उते रिसाइड करणु जेको आहे ई वृंदावन एंड द्वारका एंड ॿिया जेके बि मतिलबु धाम आहिनि, त उहे उन्हनि जी जेकी इम्पोर्टेंस आहे एंड जेके ॿिया पाण कंसीडर कंदा आहियूं त जिते मंदिर आहे वग़ैरह, सो ॿिन्ही जॻहियुनि ते रहण जो जेको बेनिफिट आहे उहो सेम हूंदो या अलॻि हूंदो? आई थिंक ज्यादा हुनजो ही हूंदो जेकी ओरिजिनल आहे, या
चलो मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ, ठीक है।
सही है।
देखिए, जहां पे भी कोई कृष्णा का डिवोटी कृष्ण की सेवा कर रहा होता है, अगर डिवोटी की कॉन्शियसनेस एलिवेटेड है, कोई जगह आप वृंदावन में भी हो तो भी ऐसा हो सकता है कि बिल्कुल एक मटेरियल कॉन्शियसनेस में जिए, है ना, चाट पपड़ी खा रहे हैं, गप्पे मार रहे हैं, प्रजल्पा कर रहे हैं। और हो सकता है कि कोई अपने घर में भी हो तो भी वृंदावन में। I was serving in Vrindavan. I'll tell you one of my story. And my Guru Maharaj wanted me to come to Delhi, not serve in Vrindavan, because I had some service in Vrindavan. So I was doing some youth preaching there. So, and then Maharaj finally persuaded me, obviously, he was talking to me, and his name is Gopal Kish Maharaj. He told me, wherever you're serving Krishna, that is Vrindavan. It all depends on the consciousness of a person. Vrindavan is a place, obviously, this is spiritual world. Here, the presence of Krishna is strongly felt. I'm speaking from Vrindavan, actually. Here, the presence of Krishna is very, very much felt. You can experience Krishna, feel the presence of Krishna very much. Krishna is everywhere in Vrindavan. But one has to be cautious about his consciousness. In Vrindavan, one should be absorbed in the pastime, hearing the pastimes of the Lord, Krishna Katha. अच्छा, अब और भी चीजें, जैसे जहाँ पे तुलसी है वो भी एक धाम होता है। अगर आप वृंदावन नहीं आ सकते, बता दें तुलसी के एक पत्ते पर 6 बिलियन धाम्स रहते हैं। आई थिंक आपके घर में तो इतनी सारी तुलसी है। तो जहाँ पे भी तुलसी है, ऑलवेज यू कीप तुलसी इन योर होम। Wherever you have tulsi, that place is dham. And if you cannot come to Vrindavan, obviously you are in Pakistan, you can make your home dham. And Prabhupada also mentioned, my temples are my Vaikunthas. Temples are Vaikunthas. So come to temple, take darshan of Krishna, Gaunita in the center, Hyderabad center. That is Vaikuntha. So a place wherever you can think of Krishna, that is Vrindavan. Wherever you're serving Krishna, your home is Vrindavan. You have deities, you have laminations. Krishna appears in 8 forms. Na? One of this is color. Krishna के जो विग्रह होते हैं 8 रूपों में आते हैं, उसमें से एक. So ऐसा नहीं है, laminations are of less important. I don't have the deities. I have only laminations. So every day we are offering food to Krishna through lamination, right? You all do offering Boga. So in your home, even the laminations, they're also there. The Krishna is there. And you're chanting holy name of Krishna. So the more you get purified, the more you have Vrindavan consciousness. You can create Vrindavan everywhere. Obviously, it takes time gradually to become that much purified to create any place like Vrindavan. Prabhupada created like new Vrindavan, new Jagannath Puri. So absorb your mind and you will feel the presence of Vrindavan, Krishna everywhere. Make your heart Vrindavan. I think we just mentioned Kishori Janani. Make your heart Vrindavan. Let Krishna reside in that heart. ओके, और किसी को कुछ क्वेश्चन है?
Prabhuji, I want to say something.
जो भी आया न्याय करो।
Okay, there, Mataji, you can go ahead.
प्रभु जी थोरो कंटेंट का अलग है बट वहां पे भी पूछी छड़ा दिस 5 टाइप जेके बारे मुक्ति पढ़ी हूं ना तो उनमें हिकड़ी मुक्ति ये भी के ना सेम बॉडीली लाइक फीचर्स जेके ना थींदा आहिनि सो जॾहिं न लॉर्ड एंड जेके वो ते माण्हू आहिनि उन ॿिन्ही जा बॉडीली फीचर सेम हूंदा त डिफरेंशिएट कीअं थींदो कि लॉर्ड कहिड़ा एंड वो कहिड़ा डिवोटी कहिड़ा
I'll tell you one pastime. One devotee asked Prabhupada, if I go to spiritual world, how will I know you there? How will I know Krishna, where Krishna is? So this was asked by, I think, Brahmanand, and I forgot his name. So Prabhupada told him, when you come to spiritual world, when you will come to spiritual world, I'll grab you by your hand, introduce you to Krishna. So when you go to Vaikuntha planet, you have same bodily feature. Obviously, when you go to Golok Vrindavan, Prabhupada will be there, your Guru will be there, your guide will be there, and they'll receive you, obviously, and introduce you to Krishna. So you know who Krishna is. How can you go to spiritual world without knowing Krishna? You can, I'm looking like Krishna, but you know Krishna is this. So because in Vaikuntha, everyone is serving Krishna. He's served with that reverence and veneration. So obviously, so when you go to spiritual world, Prabhupada will grab you by hand and introduce to Krishna. This is Krishna. Okay, thank you so much. I don't know when next we can meet, and if you do have some questions or you do have some comments, you can access me through Krishna Priya Mataji. You can approach through her, and
Prabhuji, I would like to say something, which is our culture. So,
but I want Shobha to say something.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
She's one of the very smiling devotees in the class. Huh?
Yes, she is, Prabhu. She is. बड़ी मीठी बच्ची है हमारी.
Very sweet devotee, always smiling. Whether she knows the answer or not, she is always smiling.
So
Good.
much.
Now you must say.
प्रभु जी मुझे एक सवाल पूछना था, वो हमारे कोर्स रिलेटेड नहीं है, बाहर है, हम पूछ सकते हैं?
समझ नहीं आ रहा. हाँ, पूछो अब आ रहा है. ये तो गई. गई आवाज. आपके यहाँ पे माइक की प्रॉब्लम बहुत है. पाकिस्तान में बहुत लोगों के माइक खराब रहते हैं.
इंटरनेट का प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा है, माइक का नहीं है.
We'll give it 10 seconds more. If you can ask your question, it's okay. Otherwise, we'll. ठीक है. इसमें भी माधुरी आएंगे.
प्रभु जी, am I audible now?
हाँ, कहिए.
प्रभु जी, एज वी ऑल नो, रामायण के मुताबिक लक्ष्मण जी महाराज जो थे वो पग पग पर राम जी के साथ होते थे. वो हमेशा उनके साथ रहते थे. जैसे वो वनवास में गए, वहां भी वो साथ थे, और वो बहुत प्रेम करते थे राम जी से. तो हनुमान चालीसा में एक लाइन आती है, रघुपति की नहीं बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही संभाई. तुलसीदास जी महाराज हनुमान जी के लिए कह रहे हैं कि भगवान राम जी ने फिर ऐसा क्यों कहा है कि भरत जी मुझे ज्यादा प्रिय हैं एज कम्पेयर टू लक्ष्मण, हालांकि लक्ष्मण जी ने ज्यादा सेक्रीफाइस किया है.
अच्छा. एक बार ना एक स्टोरी बताता हूँ रामायण से. सो ये लास्ट स्टोरी है, छोटी सी है. एक बार जी हनुमान जी को ना एक डायरी मिली थी. तो उन्होंने राम जी से पूछा कि इस डायरी में क्या किनके नाम लिखे हैं. राम जी ने कहा इनमें उनके नाम लिखे हैं जो मुझसे बहुत प्रेम करते हैं, है ना. तो सबके नाम लिखे थे उस डायरी में. उसमें भरत जी का नाम लिखा था, अच्छे अच्छे राम जी के डिवोटी से सबका नाम लिखा था. तो उन्होंने हनुमान जी ने, मेरा नाम तो है ही नहीं इसके अंदर. तो मेरा नाम शायद भगवान जी लिखना भूल गए. तो फिर भगवान ने एक डैरी अंदर से दिल से नहीं। यहाँ पे उनके शरीर के कपड़े पहने थे राम जी ने, अपनी इस हृदय से एक अंदर कपड़े के पीछे छुपा के एक डायरी निकाली। तो भगवान ने कहा कि इस डायरी में उनके नाम है जिनको मैं प्यार करता हूँ। तो उसमें नाम किसका था? हनुमान जी का। ठीक है, क्लियर हो गया? तो वो कौन सी डायरी थी जिसमें भगवान राम उनसे प्यार करते हैं? वो दूसरी वाली डायरी थी। एक जो दिल में डायरी थी वो हनुमान जी वाली डायरी थी, जिसको राम प्यार करते हैं। ठीक है जी, हरे कृष्णा। यस कृष्ण प्रिय माता जी, आई थिंक वी शुड एंड।
Yes, Prabhu. I just want to give a feedback, and first of all, thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's honestly our honor and privilege that we got your association. Asange tanu sang milyo, and you said that we are a best batch. I think we became best batch by your best touch. Otherwise, ਅਸੀਂ ਹਲੇ ਨਾਲਾਇਕ ਕਿਉਂ? We are very nalike students, Prabhuji, honestly speaking. And I would like to thank His Grace Bimla Prasad Prabhu, but he's not here today. Like, instantly, I would say, कि तव्हां हिते खणी आया असांजे लाइ, and it's very honorable for us. But Prabhuji, we will miss you. Like, we got very little of your association, like 1 or 2 days in a week, but it gave us so much, like very big impact. And we will like, NoD is the sense of this Bhakti Shastri, but we don't know with
मतलब
your classes.
मुझे भी बोलने देना इसके बाद, ठीक है? मुझे
हाँ
कंक्लूड
जी, हाँ जी। लाइक आपके क्लासेस लेने के बाद एक चीज तो पक्का है, वी विल ऑलवेज ट्राई टू रिमेम्बर कृष्णा इन एवरीथिंग, इन एवरीथिंग, क्योंकि हम नहीं कर पाते हैं ये। एंड आपने बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाया प्रभु जी, सो थैंक यू सो मच। एंड आई वुड लाइक टू से, अगर किन्हीं भी स्टूडेंट को प्रभु जी के लिए कुछ फीडबैक देना है, सो दे कैन। थैंक यू सो मच अगेन, थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी।
अगर मेरी क्लास में कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया तो मेरी बस,
नहीं,
तो मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट है। नहीं नहीं, एक रिक्वेस्ट है। अगर किसी को कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया मान लीजिए, तो एक रिक्वेस्ट है, कम से कम एक चीज समझ लेना। क्योंकि इस्कॉन की हिस्ट्रीज है ना, कई सारे लेक्चर सुनते हैं, नोट्स बनाते हैं, भूल जाते हैं। ये इस्कॉन की हिस्ट्री है ना,
आई
डिवोटीज।
थिंक वो जो
एक
अनुकूलन,
चीज, एक चीज
अनुकूल,
याद रखिएगा,
यस,
intention to please Krishna, that is bhakti. Favorable intention to please Krishna, that is the essence of this entire nectar devotion. The intention to please Krishna, I must please Krishna, or the same that we discussed, the want of Krishna is wanted, so I must please Krishna. Obviously मैं कई सारे लोगों के फीडबैक्स ले लेते हैं, लेकिन मैं कई सारे डिवोर्स में आप अटेंशन नहीं दे पाया, और कुछ को कभी किसी से पूछना, कोई इसमें सब ऑब्वियसली हो सकता है कि किसी को लगा कि मैंने अटेंशन नहीं दी, तो मैं क्षमा चाहता हूँ। कोई भी गलती हो उसके लिए भी क्षमा। अगर आपको लगता है कुछ भी अच्छा लगा आज की क्लास में, तो उसका मैं एक ही श्रेय देना चाहूँगा, वह है इस ग्रेस बिमला प्रसाद को। आज जो कुछ भी मैं हूँ, कुछ भी आपको अच्छा लगा, वो उनकी कृपा से आ रहा है, और जो भी गलतियां लगी वो मेरी खुद की करतूतें हैं, जो भी है। So, and if you, I would love to receive your feedbacks. If there is something I can improve upon, let me know. Please.
Prabhuji, you can also read from
Thank
the
you
chat
so much,
box.
Prabhuji. Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji. मेरे जैसे नालायक लोग जो इतना कुछ याद नहीं कर पाते हैं, बस ये चीज याद रहेगी हमेशा कि आपने जो सिखाई, the motive is to please Krishna. So thank you so much for your precious time जो हमें आपने दिया. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. सुंदर कुमार, I felt like you're my own. अरे वाह, जीत लिया आपने तो, क्या क्या। ओके, ठीक है।
Prabhuji, I also want to say something.
Yes, please.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for your association for us. I enjoy every class with you, and thank you for your precious time.
ओके, ठीक है, नेक्स्ट चले, क्या करें?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes, we can go. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. His Grace Rasaal Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
एटलीस्ट आज सबके वीडियोस होने हैं ऑलमोस्ट।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी,
हरे
थैंक
कृष्णा।
यू। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
प्रभु शोभा माता की आखिरी हंसी सुनते
हाँ
जाइए।
जी, हाँ जी। नहीं नहीं, आगे भी हंसते रहे, हंसी क्यों आखिरी हंसी कर रहे हो? कुछ आगे रहे ना। Good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.